Indiana Latino Expo Show. Gloria Jimenez.
Celebrating the Hispanic Heritage Month, today we have an icon of the community, Dr. Virginia Caine. She is the Director and Chief Medical Staff at Marion County Public Health Department. Welcome, Dr. Caine.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me here.
It's a pleasure having you here. It's the first time that I get to interview in person after 2 difficult years. I think you did an amazing job, and also grateful for all the services and the collaborations that we had during the pandemic. But today we're here to talk about a little bit about you and to share about your story. Can you tell us how did you start at the Marion County Public Health Department? It's been a long time there.
Well, actually, I was a research hound, and I came from Baltimore, Maryland. I was on the faculty at Johns Hopkins Medical School where I did research. And I got recruited here to Indianapolis by the Indiana University School of Medicine to do some similar research. And at that time, I was one of the early experts on HIV infections. And so some of my buddies like Dr. Monica Medina and some others, we were strong advocates of trying to get services for people of color during that time. So I started out being the director of the Belfar Clinic, as it's known now, that provides sexually transmitted disease services and HIV services, as well as director of communicable diseases for the Marion County Public Health Department. But I'm a bug doctor too. So I'm an infectious disease physician. And so I would see patients at Ashkenazi Health Hospital for any patient that might have pneumonia, meningitis, might have a surgical infection. And so all different types of infections is what I started out doing.
Incredible. Just out of curiosity, in these years of career and just scaling the ladder and achieving all these leadership positions, what has been the best advice that you can give to all those young professionals, or maybe people that are they feel maybe stuck on their career, or maybe they want to keep moving up?
Well, I think the most important thing is to know what your values are and who you are, and always believe in yourself. And no one knows you better, except maybe your mother and your father, who you are. And you know that you've got the ability to do some great things. And one person can do some fantastic and great things. So the first thing, most important than anything else, is to believe in yourself. But I'm also a very strong proponent of you've got to give back. And it doesn't matter where you are, whether you're a 6th grader, or you're in college, or any position that you are in, you can lend a helping hand to someone. So I think it's important for us to be public servants and reach out and help that next person along the way, because I think it brings back so many dividends into you as a person. But I want you to be a good person. I want you to have good values, and integrity is really important. So when you're giving your word and you're saying something, people can depend on and know you are a person who feels some obligation and responsibility to the community.
Excellent. That's all. Your word is your signature, your brand.
Exactly.
You were talking about growing up, and do you believe in mentorship? Do you have mentors? Do you mentor?
So there is no way in the world that I would have been as successful as I am. Right? I think I'm a little successful.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Without tremendous mentors, people, going out of their way to help give me advice, to help me from trying to avoid making mistakes. Now, I don't care what anybody tells you. You learn from your mistakes. So someone tells you, I never make any mistakes, I never have any failures. You need to kind of keep your distance from that person. But I've had so many people, all different walks of life, and it's not the rich person that you know, it's that very person that you least expected can help you out and really help pave the way for you and help mold you who you are. Character is important.
Yeah, excellent. And now we are celebrating the Hispanic Heritage Month. We have a leadership program in partnership with the city of Indianapolis, and publicly I would like to invite you to speak to our students, because what you just said, it makes a huge impact for us. Not because we don't have the mentors, but we need those words of encouragement, but also, you know, from someone that that had the walk, that took the walk. Now we're celebrating the Hispanic Heritage Month, and there are so many outreach programs, events. What is the Marion County Public Health Department engaging or participating?
Well, first of all, let me just say I think the Plaza Fiesta fair is going to happen, I believe, September the 17th. So you'll look to see some of our phenomenal staff. I think you just heard from one earlier.
Yes.
That will come and talk about the different programs we have, the different products that we have, the different services that we have. For example, if you're a pregnant mom, you know, we provide some wonderful coupons where you have the ability to get a new baby crib, car seats, bathing clothing items, diapers, and so many wonderful things if you're willing to learn about your pregnancy and some of the wonderful things you can do in order to have a healthy baby. So, example, the importance of knowing that you can't smoke around a pregnant mother. You can't drink alcohol around a pregnant mother. And it's so important to get into prenatal care early, because you want to start your prenatal vitamins. Sometimes not taking the prenatal vitamins can lead to a baby being born very early, and being such a small baby sometimes can lead to a higher risk for asthma, respiratory infections, conditions, but sometimes you might have high blood pressure or diabetes. So we have a lot of products related to that, and we want it to be safe for our children. You know, we're back to school now. And because of back to school, we want to know that our children are safe in those schools, because there's a lot of respiratory infections going on with the influenza, the flu. There's a virus called RSV that can have some severe complications. And COVID has not gone away. So please, and then with the new infections that are coming out, monkeypox, can you believe it? And anyone traveling to New York City, the state of New York, there's been polio reported out in some of those states. So immunizations are really critical in order for our children to have, in order to be safe in our school systems.
And those are things that also at the expo, on the Indiana Latino Expo on October 15th.
And we're excited about coming to your expo.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Provide some services similar to that.
3 years that we haven't had. Our last expo was on October 2019, so we didn't have 220, 221, now 222. We are finally having the expo, and I'm so grateful with the department, the Marion County Public Health Department, you know, Belkis and all her team, because they're doing these amazing screenings, I think vaccines and services, to talk to the community in our language, which is so important, because that's one of the barriers.
Well, I know some people might want to learn how to drive a car.
Yes.
And so you have to have a birth certificate sometimes to get your license, or you may have to have proper documentation, and we can provide technical assistance sometimes in that order. So really important to have those services and the expertise, and you may be able to call on us to help us out in that regard.
Excellent, Dr. Caine. Anything else you want to share? How can we contact with the Marion County Public Health Department?
So there's a general number. It's 317-221-2000. 317-221-2000. And if you only speak Spanish, they will be able to direct that call to someone who responds in Spanish in order to help provide you technical assistance. But we just love our collaborations, especially with Indiana Latino Expo. And I have to say that when we looked at who's getting vaccinated for COVID, one of the groups that had the highest vaccination rates was the Hispanic Latino X population, higher than almost everybody except with the exception of maybe the Asian population.
Wow.
So that's because of all the work you guys have done in collaborating, getting that message out, outreach, but also eat healthy, get plenty of sleep, and keep that gorgeous smile and you'll do fine.
Thank you so much, Dr. Caine. It was a pleasure having you here at the Indiana Latino Expo and celebrating the Hispanic Heritage Month. Thank you so much for all your work, the contributions you bring to the state of Indiana, to Indianapolis.
Well, let me compliment you. I was at that famous breakfast just recently, and that rich information that you provide to the community about what's happening with new organizations and agencies and what they're doing. No one gets that message out better than you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Caine. Well, thank you so much. Let's keep celebrating the Hispanic Heritage Month at the Indiana Latino Expo.
Indiana Latino Expo Show.